The answer to this question is both simple, but at the same time infinitely complex. God says in the Bible, in Revelation 21:4, that he will end suffering, that he will wipe away every tear. But the challenge for us is, how do we manage this and comprehend it in the here and now? As Christians, we understand that God is not the source of evil. God does not create evil. God is not evil. It tells us that in James. However, we also understand that God, by his very nature, is all-powerful, all-knowing, and therefore nothing takes him by surprise. As Christians, when we see suffering throughout the world, we often are tempted to try to get God off the hook by saying, this has nothing to do with God. But in reality, the Bible makes it very clear we have two choices. Either God is all-powerful, and therefore he's in control of what happens in the world, or God is taken by surprise by the suffering and the evil in the world. The Bible makes it clear to us that although God hates evil and God hates suffering, he is able to use it for his purposes. The Bible tells us in Romans 8:28 that all things work out for good to those who love God, or those who are called by him. And so that gives us a hope that by his very nature, this same God who so loved the world that he gave his only son, that we will not perish but have everlasting life, this same God will work things out. When we go back to the Garden of Eden and we see how sin has brought death and catastrophe to this world, we realise that this planet is a dangerous place to live in, with viruses, famines and so forth. But what God is able to do, he's able to turn things which are bad and turn them around with a purpose that would glorify him. We learn more about God and his goodness through suffering. We learn more about God's ability to work miracles through suffering that we see on this planet. The truth is that God is so much wiser than I am, and as wiser than we are, that we can never give a full answer to this question. And that's why the Bible says that we walk not by sight, but by faith. As a Christian who's suffered many things in my life, and know people who suffered much more than me, what God is able to do is get alongside us in our suffering, to show us compassion, but also to reveal himself to us. So I go back to Revelation 21:4. God will wipe away every tear. We don't need to know all the reasons why we suffer. What we need is an assurance that the coronavirus has not taken God by surprise, and God will work all things out for our good.